Good afternoon. Good morning. I thought it was 5 p.m. Mass. Now, have you ever had a feeling like you have been called to something new? Called to a new place? Called to do something different? Maybe be more yourself? Every so often, we have these epiphanies, these moments, these senses at different times in our lives. Sometimes we listen to them, and sometimes we ignore them. You are at point A, and you know you need to get to point B, a different place. Now, I was thinking about this as I read the beginning of today's gospel. On that day, as evening drew on, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us cross to the other side." Leaving the crowd, they took Jesus with them in the boat, just as he was. Let us cross to the other side, leaving the crowd behind. Now, if you go to the Holy Land and you stand on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, a guide will often say, "That's the other side." Jesus often crossed to the other side, not once, but many times. And I thought to myself, what is the other side? That's a good question. What is the side that I need to leave, and what is the side I need to go to? Now, if Jesus came to you today and said, "Okay, let's cross to the other side. Come with me and let's go across to the other side." What would that mean to you? What would that mean to me? What would Jesus be inviting you and me to do? And maybe that's the simple message of the gospel today. See, there is something I need to leave behind, and there is a new place I need to go to. Life is filled with those kind of invitations. Sometimes we listen and go across, and sometimes we ignore and stay where we are for one reason or another. Now, going to the other side, to that new place, to that different place, can be stormy, as it was in the gospel today. But in that boat and on that journey, we are not alone. When the storm comes, the gospel invites us to call on Jesus, to wake him up, to calm the storm. Now, the fact that Jesus is sleeping in the boat is rather interesting. Does he not care that the disciples may be perishing? That is what they think. That is their complaint. We read, Jesus was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. They woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" He woke up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Quiet, be still." Now, sleeping during the storm, the Bible scholars tell us, is the sign that Jesus is undisturbed by the storm, unlike the disciples. Jesus is calm in the middle of the storm. He is not afraid. He is not going to allow the storm to disturb him. Someone once said that this tells us that most of the things we worry about, Jesus would sleep through. Interesting. Have you ever thought about that? Most of the things that we worry about, Jesus would just sleep through. But we are not Jesus. We are not Jesus, and life can be stormy. That is why sometimes we don't want to go to the other side, or you want to go to the other side, but you rather be just dropped off by Jesus magically. So you don't have to make the journey, face the waves and the wind of the storm. And it may be because of uncertainty or fear, all sorts of reasons. You know, those reasons that give you sleepless nights. We all have had them. Yeah. Real or imagined, but they are there. See, on the water it may be stormy. It can turn to be scary very quickly. Life on the water is unpredictable. You don't know what you may face. It's easy to lose control over the boat as it is being tossed by the waves. That's why we resist. We are a little bit hesitant. Yet, the invitation is still the same. Let's go to the other side, that new place, the different place. I am in the boat with you. With me, you are going to be okay, even though at that moment you may not even know what that means. I can calm any storm. Don't be afraid. You see, there are those moments in our lives that you know you must go to the other side, whatever that means. It may be something major, or it may be something very simple. And the question that the gospel is asking us today, what is that other side for me today that Jesus is inviting me to go to? What is it?